Good morning, everyone. My name is Josh Nathan F. Batenga from Grade 12 Innovation. Today we're going to talk about bites, stings, and other zootoxins. Understanding this unique event risk and knowing how to manage it effectively. Things to discuss. Key takeaways. Definition of the terms in discussion. Event trends that pose risk to attendees. Animals that put event stakeholders to risk from different bites, stings, and other zootoxins. And lastly, ways to manage this minor risk to prevent major consequences. Whenever people are brought together, there is always an element of risk. But risk increases with the presence of animals that produce allergens, inject venom, and import zootoxins. Symptoms usually involve local swelling and pain without a systemic reaction, which probably explains why these occurrences may be considered only a minor event risk. Bites, stings, and zootoxins may be a minor event risk, but they present major consequences. Here's why. An anaphylactic reaction may occur shortly after a sting or exposure to allergens, venom, and zootoxins in sensitive individuals. Fatalities can occur within minutes. Avoidance, if possible, and emergency kits for sensitive individuals can be helpful prevention measures. Here are the best events people plan, pre-assess, prepare, proactively manage, and promptly respond. Which is what? Bites are wounds, usually a puncture or laceration caused by the teeth. An animal bite usually results in a break in the skin but also includes contusions from the excessive pressure on the body tissue from the bite. The contusions can occur without a break in the skin. Bites can be provoked or unprovoked. Stings are wounds or piercers with a sting, stinger, or any appendage like arms, legs, quills, spines, tentacles, or barbs. Zootoxins are toxins of animal origin, specifically animals that accumulate toxic compounds in their tissue, resulting in toxic exposure for those who pose a threat to them, delivered via specialized venom apparatuses which range from fangs, glands, saliva, skin, bristles, or sprayers. What they may come from. Bites. Any type of animal with dentition or teeth, mandibles like cutters or organic scissors, or stylets or piercers, organic needles. These are examples of bites. Dogs, cats, squirrels, rats, fleas, flies, ants, mosquitoes, cockroaches, and ticks. Stings. Any type of animal with a sting, stinger, or any appendage like arms, legs, quill, spines, tentacles, or barbs. Here are examples of animals that has stingers. So we have bees, scorpions, hornets, wasps, and arachnids. Excuse me, let me drink water for you. Okay, going back. Sorry, I had to drink because water is important when you're presenting something. Zootoxins. Any type of animal that accumulate toxic compounds in their tissues and deliver them by a specialized apparatus which range from fangs, glands, saliva, skin, bristles, or sprayers. These are animals that has zootoxins, for example, frogs, toads, newts, jellyfish, snakes, and Komodo dragons. What they look like. Bites. So what does bites look like? So there are tear or cut on the area, or swelling, or redness or rash, pain in the affected area or in the muscles, itching, heat on and around the site of the bite, numbness or tingling in the affected area, and breathing difficulty. Stings. So what do they look like? So it has, some of them has actually the same as bites, but here's things that bites doesn't have in stings. So stings has a present stinger, and the others are also mentioned from the bites as well. So that's including swelling, pain in the affected area in the muscles, itching, heat on around the site of the bite, numbness or tingling in the affected area, and having breathing difficulty. Zootoxins. So what do they look like? Swelling, redness or rash, pain in the affected area or in the muscles, itching, heat on and around the site of the bite, numbness or tingling in the affected area, breathing difficulty, and this is one thing that the stings and bites doesn't have in zootoxins: loss of consciousness and paralysis or shock. Exploring events and venues that present this risk. People are choosing nature venues more and more as these offer more picturesque spots and breathtaking views. Whether you're in the water, on a mountain trail, or in some event venue where a habitat or ecosystem may be present, like animals trained, domesticated, or wildlife you encounter, have ways of protecting themselves and their territory. So here's an example of it. Woods or trails. An area of land smaller than a forest that is covered with growing trees. May also have ferns, fungi, aviaries, and butterfly farms as well. This may include weddings, birthdays, eco-awareness, parties, glamping get-togethers. Here are the risks that you can get when it comes to woods or trails. Fly, beetle, ants, mosquito bites, bee and wasp stings, and zootoxins from caterpillar, salamanders, newts, toads, lizards, and Komodo dragon. Marsh and wetlands. An area of low-lying land which typically remains waterlogged at all times. This includes venues with following or stagnant freshwater, fountains, or other forms of small natural or man-made water forms. This may include weddings, birthdays, fishing competition, reunions, and etc. These are the risks that you can take when it comes to marsh and wetlands. Fly, beetle, ants, mosquito bites, And when it comes to stings, there's also a bee and a wasp stings. We also have here the zootoxins from caterpillars, salamanders, newts, toads, lizards, and amphibious snakes. When we say amphibious, they go through land and also in water. Komodo dragons and caecilians. They are also known as legless amphibians that look like giant earthworms. Marine ecosystems. Aquatic environments with high levels of dissolved salt. These include the open ocean and the deep sea ocean and coastal marine ecosystems, each of which have different physical and biological characteristics. This may include weddings, surfing, competitions, marine enthusiast parties, and etc. Here are the risks that you can take when it comes to marine ecosystems. Stings from jellyfish, Portuguese man-of-war, stingray, stonefish, scorpionfish, and catfish. Zootoxins from sea urchins, some sea anemone, sea snakes, or eels. Desert camps, a barren area of landscape where little precipitation occurs and consequently living conditions are hostile for plant, but teeming with animal life with zootoxins. Here are the risks that you can take when it comes to desert camps. Beetle, arachnid, mosquito bites. Zootoxins from snakes and other desert reptiles like Komodo dragons, iguanas, and lizards. Sorry, got thirsty. Okay, going back. And the last but not least, we have pet-related event venues. Any of many small or large-scale event venues which are fully dedicated to pets and their owners. These include animal exhibitions, fashion shows, and trade fairs. Such events attract the attention of the public and help the animals in need improve the public's attitude towards rescued animals and also bring a lot of pleasure and fun to the pet owners. Here are the risks when it comes to pet-related event venues. Animal tick, flea, and mosquito bites. And when it comes to stings, there's also bee and wasp stings. And last, zootoxins from snakes. It could be rare ones if you ever see one. So, not all bites or stings are the same. You will need different first aid treatment and medical care depending on what type of creature has bitten or stung you. Some species can cause more damage than others. Some people also have allergies that raise the risk of a serious reaction. When it comes to bites, wash the area of the bite with soap and water. Place a cold compress or ice pack on the area about 10 minutes at a time to help reduce pain and swelling. Wrap any ice or ice packs in a clean cloth to protect their skin. Apply calamine lotion or a paste of baking soda and water to the area several times a day to help relieve itching and pain. Going back. Stings. If the insect's stinger is still in their skin, Remove it by gently scraping flat-edged objects such as credit card across the skin. Avoid using tweezers to remove the stinger, since squeezing it may release more venom. Wash the area of the bite with soap and water, or with a sting. Place a cold compress or ice pack on the area for about 10 minutes at a time to reduce pain and swelling. Wrap any ice or ice packs in a clean cloth to protect their skin. Apply calamine lotion or a paste of baking soda and water to the area several times a day to help relieve itching and pain. And lastly, sorry, and lastly, seek medical attentions immediately. Zootoxins, not for the last category here. Ask someone else to call 911 or local emergency services right away. Ask the person whether they carry an epinephrine auto-injector. If they do, retrieve it from them and help them use it according to the label directions. Encourage them to remain calm, lie down quietly with their legs elevated, and stay still. If they start to vomit, or turn them onto their side to allow the vomit to drain and prevent choking. If they become unconscious and stop breathing, begin CPR. Continue it until medical help arrives. A word of caution: never use a tourniquet. It might make it worse, or might make matters worse. Anyway, sorry. Avoid giving the person anything to eat or drink to prevent vomiting, and medical attendants may isolate cause. Good decisions matters. Plan ahead, be prepared, and know what to do. Do an ocular inspection. Ask the venue owner or manager what animals exist or roam in the area. Take note of the ones you see and research on their unique defense mechanism and ways to treat people once these creatures act on their need to defend and protect themselves or their habitat. Communicate the risk. Inform your team and clients what to expect. Ask your clients to determine if any of their guests are particularly susceptible to the risk. Encourage your clients to remind high-risk individuals to bring their own medication. Prep for the worst. Educate your team about bites, stings, and zootoxins and how they differ from one another. Have your team train for first aid. Your first aid kit must include calamine lotion, cold compress, antiseptic wipes, or solution. Use any materials or tools necessary but are equally bug-friendly to lessen risk exposure. Assign a team member to deal specifically with this unique risk. Know the nearest hospital that deals with emergency of the nature. Plot the easiest and fastest way to get there. Make the most out of every event. Take advantage of the tools and knowledge available. There are five things that you should know. Conduct risk management meetings. Do not run an event without having one. Second, communicate the danger, and that's to all stakeholders. 3. calculate the risk, they entail cost, and someone may take lives. 4. Analyze the solutions. You can't do that if you have zero knowledge about what is and what isn't. And lastly, tailor your first aid. Not all situations require a trip to the hospital. Not all seemingly minor symptoms ought to be treated lightly. Do important work, show that you care, and always be prepared. Thank you, and this is Josh Nathan F. Batenga from Grade 12 Innovation, and have a good day, everyone.